Hello, 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 and welcome back to Stacks of Wax Volume 27. It's been quite a while since I made one of these videos, a couple of months to be more specific, and I decided that there is no time like the present to get back into the Stacks of Wax series so I can keep showing off this cool vinyl that I own. This is also an excuse for me to not put out a So You're Interested in video today. I'm working on some new stuff and really trying to flesh out some upcoming videos. So today we're just hanging out, taking a break, and going through my vinyl collection. Oh, and I guess I should have said up front, if you don't know what Stacks of Wax is, that is exactly what we're doing here. We are going through my vinyl collection A through Z. As you can tell, this is the 27th installment in this series, which means that, well, the A's were a very long time ago, and right now we made it all the way to the J's. It's pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I need to get too deep into it, so let's get right into the video. We are going to backtrack just a tad with this first record because it did come in after I recorded my last video going through the J's, and this record's just too damn good not to talk about, so might as well just include it in here, and then we'll get back to where we left off. And of course, that means we are starting off with Jane Remover Census Designated. This is one of my favorite albums of 2023. It seems to be the case with a lot of other people as well. A lot of people really enjoyed this. It really got a lot of love and it deserved it. If you don't know this record, it's some really cool shoegazy electronic guitar indie work here. I don't really know how else to describe it. It really is its own entity, and I think that Jane Remover does a fantastic job with this record. I did get this through pre-order before the album ever came out. It comes in this cool gatefold. Really like the imagery on this album package. Solid stuff, solid stuff. And then the record itself, or I should say records, it is a double LP, comes on this very lovely bone white vinyl. Looks very nice. Last I looked, I think it's sold out everywhere. I don't know if they ever did like a repress of this exact version or not. But yeah, tons of good songs on this thing. I really enjoyed Lips, Backseat Girl, but in its entirety, fantastic record. If you haven't checked it out yet, you should go ahead and do so. Especially if you're a fan of this channel, odds are you have pretty similar music taste to me, and if that's the case, then this is definitely an avenue that you want to go down. Next up, we have this Jeff Carney record. This is live electronic music. This came out in 1989, and yes, it is that self-explanatory. This is just electronic music. It's pretty neat. It's like this whole set. I'm pretty sure it's just like 2 songs, if I remember correctly. 3 songs, one at 20 minutes, another one at 9, another one at 10. But it's pretty neat. Like, everything was recorded through analog, old technology, whatever you want to call it. It's just unique. You don't necessarily get these types of sounds anymore with more modern electronic music. Not to say that it's necessarily a fault or anything like that, but it is neat to hear it in this live context. Like, I'm not entirely certain if this was recorded like in a concert, I guess, mindset or in front of a live audience, but the music itself was created live. Like, this was all done in real time to at least my basic understanding. My buddy actually picked this up for me when we were at the Princeton Record Exchange. Actually, you can watch that happen in a video that I put up a couple of months ago, I guess at this point. I gave 2 of my buddies $50 each to go get me some records and see what they came up with, and this was one of them that my friend got me, and I quite enjoyed it. It's not my favorite electronic release of all time by any means, but it's certainly an interesting listen, and I am glad to have it in my collection. Alright, next up, we have a couple of records here by somebody you guys all probably know. This is Jeff Rosenstock. You got Post, you got Worry, and then of course you have 2023's Hell Mode. We'll start off with Worry real quick. Pretty simple. This is just a reissue, standard black vinyl, nothing crazy there. Actually, I forgot to say it. Same thing goes with the Jeff Carney record back there as well, just on standard black. This is probably my favorite Jeff Rosenstock record. It's really hard to nail down. I don't know if he has a perfect album per se, but every single one of them at least has enough tracks for me to always be coming back to them. But in terms of preference, I do find myself coming back to Worry the most. I do still listen to Post a lot. I do still listen to Hell Mode a lot, and I sure as hell definitely put on some songs from No Dream and We Cool, but yeah, Worry definitely seems to be the one that I come back to and gravitate towards the most. Then we got Post. I was glad to get this one. I absolutely love the songs 9 out of 10 and TV Stars. Actually, thinking about it, I really don't enjoy this entire record all that much. It really is just those 2 songs and like 2 others that I do enjoy. But those songs are so strong that it was definitely worth it for me to finally purchase this record. This does come on this very lovely shade of blue. My lighting is not helping this at all. It is dark, but not that dark. I do like the color. It's cool. I mean, I'm not too particular about that. You should know that about me by now, but it does match the album cover itself pretty well, so I'm about it. All right, what do they call that color as? They called it clear dark teal vinyl. Cool. Works for me. Definitely looks like that, so works for me. And then, of course, we have Hell Mode here. 2023. Great record. I enjoyed it. It was in my favorite 50 albums of 2023 list. Not as high as some music critics who named it their favorite album of the year. Still a little befuddling to me, but hey, whatever, to each their own. I do think this is a great record. I think that the production really is upgraded from the past releases. Not even saying that they were bad. This is just a different beast in a way. It's like they try to tackle this record in a new way that they haven't done before, and I can appreciate that. I did get this as a pre-order when the record was announced. This is the Rough Trade edition. I believe it's limited to 500. Damn it, I just realized I threw out the hype sticker when I got this. I never do that, and I can't even check now. That's really disappointing. But still, it is a gorgeous looking record. The clear black smoke, whatever you want to call it, looks great. It's absolutely one of the more limited pressings of this album, which is always fun to have, especially when it blew up like it did. So maybe one day this won't be in my collection anymore. Maybe I'll be selling it off to somebody who wants it even more than I do. But for now, I am happy that I have it in my collection, and if you want it in yours, well, I don't know, highest bidder, leave me an offer. We'll see what we can do. Now we have something that doesn't really show up all that often in these videos, simply because I don't have too many of them, and that would be a 10-inch record. I don't have too many, maybe like 10 or 12 at this point, but I do love me a good 10-inch record. I'm a sucker for a weird vinyl style, weird sizing, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, for those of you who do not know, this is Jerome's Dream. This is Seeing Means More Than Safety. This is their debut, I'm almost positive. I'm not like a giant Jerome's Dream guy. I do like them a lot, but I don't necessarily know their discography like the back of my hand, so I apologize if I'm wrong. But this is the 2023 repress. My buddy actually picked this up at a show that he went to that I was unable to attend, unfortunately. I appreciate him getting this for me because I'm very happy to have it. Cool, it's on black vinyl, totally fine. It's a 10-inch. I'm already happy about that. But yeah, Jerome's Dream, Screamo. Screamo, power violence, whatever you want to call it. This is just some heavy, loud, aggressive shit. Definitely worth checking out. One of the best in the entire genre, I think it's safe to say, and I think that a lot of people would agree with me on that sentiment. One of these days, I really do have to get around to making a So You're Interested in Jerome's Dream. Yeah, that's got to be coming down the pipeline at some point. I just need to get my shit together. Especially now that I have one of the records, that means I can plop that baby up and get the video started. But until then, I'll be spinning this a couple of times to really reacclimate myself with their music and write out a good script, I hope. Now we have hit what I like to call the Jesus portion of my vinyl collection, as we are going to go through a couple of records here by the Jesus and Mary chain. First one here is their Live at Barrowlands. I've talked about this in the past on the So You're Interested in video that I made on their discography. And then of course we have Psycho Candy, and we have a single edition of Happy When It Rains, probably my favorite song by the band. Yeah, real quick, going through the Barrowlands record here. This is a live release. I believe it was recorded in 2015 if I recall correctly. Doesn't say it on the sleeve itself, so I'm just going to pretend that I'm right. It does come with this really cool booklet in here that I really have not gone through enough. Yeah, this is some great stuff in here. Hopefully you can see it all right. Wonderful photos. Big fan. Very cool. And then the record itself, I'm trying to remember. I think it's just on black. I do think it's just, yeah, it is. Okay. There are some more limited editions of this on like a clear with like some weird splatters, reds and stuff like that. Only was able to get the black edition because the other one sold out pretty quickly, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, even this copy itself was the last one that I saw in the record store, so they must have been flying off the shelves, which is cool. Gotta love when Jesus and Mary chain get some love. It's always good. Even their newest record, I don't know if you guys have listened to it yet. I enjoyed it. Nothing too crazy, but, you know, it was a solid record. It's probably not going to end up on, like, any of my year-end lists or anything like that, but I enjoyed it. It was better than I expected after, what, 35-plus years of being a band, 40 years? I mean, let's be real. There is basically no beating Psycho Candy. What an incredible fucking record. It's just the blueprint for so much of the guitar music that all of us love from the 90s, aughts, 2010s, and even now. Perfect album through and through. Big fan. This just comes on black vinyl as well. It's a repress, reissue. I don't even know which one it is. There are so many of them, I feel like, at this point. But it's still a fantastic album to have and a must-have, in my opinion, in any record collector's collection. That was a bad sentence. Words are hard. Usually I'd cut that. I'm gonna leave that one in there. That's a real insight into what goes on up here. But one record that has not been re-released enough, at least in my eyes, because I still don't have a copy of it, that would be Darklands. Love that album. Love it so much. It has my favorite song by the Jesus and Mary chain on it. And that song is, of course, Happy When It Rains. I was very excited when I was able to get this on a single 12-inch edition. A-side, Happy When It Rains, the long version. B-side, Everything's Alright When You're Down, and Happy Place. Surprisingly, this is in pretty good condition. I know, you know, got the ring wear on the outside, but that's completely fine. You know, I better take it out of the frickin' sleeve so you can see it, goddammit. It's got the ring wear. It's pretty obvious, but it's fine. This is an older record, and the record itself still sounds pretty good. I wouldn't call it pristine by any means. You know, there's a little bit of hissing here and there, but it's not egregious. It still plays fine. And like I said, until I'm able to get an actual copy of Darklands for a reasonable price, I need to make that abundantly clear. Until that happens, I'm fine with just this. So yeah, hopefully I'll be filling out the old Jesus and Mary Chain collection a little bit more as time moves on, but hey, 3 records so far, I'll take it. That's not all that bad. Continuing through our religious experience here, through the Jesus section of my collection, we have a record here from the one and only The Jesus Lizard. This is their 1996 record Shot, probably not their most famous record. That's probably either Goat or Liar, but still, a great release. This is one that was finally reissued not too long ago for one of the record store days. I think it was a Black Friday record store day or something like that. It's kind of hard to keep track of anymore. But I did snag a copy of this. I believe I bought it from Wanna Hear It Records in Boston. I wasn't up there. I just bought it from their website because they had a couple of copies left over. They seem like pretty cool peeps. I've never been there for myself, but if you're in the area, I'm sure it's worth checking out. Yeah, this does come on this really gorgeous, super dark red with black splatter. It's a very neat piece. Looks great. Sounds very good too. If you love noise rock, then you'll probably love the Jesus Lizard. They are the blueprint for a lot of that stuff, in my humblest of opinions. I think that they really took that genre and made it whole, made it something important. But this record is worth it just to hear the 3rd track on this thing, Thumb Screws. It's one of my favorite Jesus Lizard songs, and if you've actually seen my So You're Interested in video on the Jesus Lizard, then you would know that already because I recommended it. Great band, great album, legendary, just a pillar of the noise rock sound, and we really wouldn't have most of the stuff that we have today without the Jesus Lizard. And remember, it's the Jesus Lizard, you idiot. And to round out our Jesus portion of the show, we're going to talk about a couple of records by Jesus Peace. We got their record Only Self here, along with their latest release, 2023 So Unknown. Start off with Only Self here. I found this in the used section at my local record store and was very happy to get this for like 18 bucks. I've seen people in Discogs try to sell this thing for a lot more, so I am pleasantly surprised that I was able to get it at the price that I got it at. This is just on standard black, by the way, but I just don't think that there were too many of these pressings lying around. It's kind of what has dictated the market to trend towards where it is right now. It's some great stuff. It's some of the premier metalcore, hardcore, just aggressive music that is out there. And I love them because they're a Philadelphia band. I love supporting the peeps, man. They always do good stuff. Lead singer Aaron has been in so many of my favorite projects throughout time, and obviously Jesus Peace being one of them. I really do like this band. And actually, the more I think about it, this is probably my favorite release by them, which brings me to our next record here, which is So Unknown, which I do enjoy quite a bit, but I don't know, man. Only Self has something for me. It's still solid, though. I mean, it was one of my favorites of 2023, so I'm not, like, shitting on this record or anything. But yeah, I pre-ordered this. This was from Brooklyn Vegan, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's limited to 300, maybe 500. I forget what they called it exactly, but I believe it's like Tiger's Eye or something like that is what the pressing is called. It's a fucking cool pressing. Okay, there we go. Let's get in there so you can actually see the yellow and it doesn't look like brown. Oh yeah, that's a damn good looking record. I was looking at it recently. I think that they're like probably one more release away from me being able to finally do a So You're Interested in video on them. I kind of have my own specifications on what I need a band to have released at some point by the time that I make those videos. Just so I have like enough shit to talk about that's varied and all that jazz, whatever. That's my problem, not yours. So yeah, hopefully we get some more Jesus Peace material in the near future. I know they kind of took a hiatus over COVID, which I don't blame them at all. But I hope that now we get to see them really gears turning full throttle, getting some more music pumped out because they make some fantastic metalcore shit. Especially in a landscape right now where metalcore is just weird and kind of bland. There are good outfits out there, but I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to do it. If you want to hear me talk about this, request a video, maybe I'll make it. Oh, because now, hell yeah, fuck that metalcore noise. We're moving into some Jets to Brazil, baby. This is Orange Rhyming Dictionary, and I fucking love this album. Huge fan, got it recently. It's a repress. It's out of 300, as you can hopefully see right there. A Smart Punk reissue of a 1998 record. If you don't know this album, I recommend changing that. I really, really do. It's a solid release. Look at that. That is a gorgeous record, man. That is some banana yellow right there, I'll tell you what. Yeah, if you know nothing about this band, I don't know, like 90s emo is a good way to say it, maybe. This is also fronted by the lead singer of Jawbreaker, so if you're already into Jawbreaker and you knew nothing about Jets to Brazil, you should probably change that. Go listen to this album. That's almost all I can really say. I adore this album. It's so good. Go listen to it. I don't know, I can't really make a video on them, so fuck it, go listen to it. Report back. If you made it this far into the video, go listen to at least one of the songs. Go listen to Starry Configurations or I Type for Miles. Actually, fuck it. Go listen to I Type for Miles. Report back. Let me know what you think. We got 2 more albums here. We're gonna make this quick. We got the Jim Carroll Band, Catholic Boy. I'll tell you what, I've never listened to this album all the way through. Maybe I will one day. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I got some more pressing matters to get to. But this does, of course, have the famous and incredible song People Who Died. I believe it was used in the film The Basketball Diaries. Maybe I'm misremembering that. I don't know. I'm gonna fact check myself right here. What a killer punk song. Perfect. Awesome, talking about all these motherfuckers who just got up and croaked. You know what, now that I think about it, maybe I should be giving this a full listen at some point. I don't know, man. If there's anything even remotely close to how good People Who Died is on there, then yeah, it's probably a worthwhile venture. That is Standard Black. I don't know what type of pressing that is. I know I have it logged on my Discogs somewhere. I don't think it's an original. It's probably close to, but I don't know. Clearly, it doesn't matter all that much to me. All right, and then let's round out this video talking about the only hip-hop record that I'm going to mention here. That'll be Joey Badass's All-American Badass. I got this for stupidly cheap because the record store that I bought it from, it's a used copy, they said that there was this huge scratch on the C side. And like, don't get me wrong, there's a noticeable scuff, like you can see it, but it doesn't affect the play whatsoever. So I bought this for $5 and it's still really good, so works for me. It is the only Joey that I have in my collection. I would like to change that at some point. I haven't listened to his music in quite some time, but I don't know. There's some good records out there that he has. I feel like he's definitely underrated, at least in modern terms. I think people overlook his music a little bit too quickly because, I don't know, man. I like this record a lot. I remember when it first came out, I was all about it. Yeah, bunch of good fucking tracks on here. God damn. Maybe I'm gonna spin this while I'm editing this video, I think. This is my note to spin this while I'm editing it, which now I realize is the last record that I just talked about, which means I'm not gonna, whatever, fine. Fine. Regardless, great record. Joey, badass, good stuff. Glad to have it. It is just on Standard Black. Nothing crazy. I don't know if they ever did any cool pressings for this. Maybe I'm wrong. There's probably like a club variant or something like that. But anyway, content with spending $5 on this. What the hell, man? That's a pretty good steal. But with that, we close out this volume of Stacks of Wax. I want to thank you very much for sticking around this far into the video. If you did make it this far, maybe you fell asleep, maybe my voice is in your brain right now as you're dreaming up some crazy concoctions, or you're awake and you're just here to make fun of me at the very end, that's fine too. Whatever floats your boat. But if you have any of these records or want any of these records, go on down in the comment section and let me know. While you're down there, also make sure to subscribe to Forever Spinning if you haven't done so already. I make videos just like this every month, or at least I think that's the new plan. That's how we did it before, and I think it worked out well, so hopefully we'll continue doing that. And then there are also shows like So You're Interested In, the variety show, Where It's At. There's so much content coming down the pipeline, it isn't stopping anytime soon. I also have a couple of new video ideas that I think I'm going to try out pretty soon, so stay tuned, be subscribed, and you'll be the first one to know when these new videos drop. But that's it, I'm gonna stop talking. That is all, except for my usual reminder for you to go out and support your local record store if you are able to, along with the local artist in your area. And well, till I see you next time, happy listening.